Hello, everyone. Welcome to the PowerCollab March edition, and this is going to be the second special edition. So today we are going to discuss on a very special theme of the administration, security, and the governance in the Power Platform or the Dynamic 365. So today our experts have a lot of surprises in their magic buckets, and without killing the time, I would really like to ask or request Buelent if you can start with your magic things. What you have in your bucket today?
Sure, happy to do. So, hello everyone. Welcome. Hopefully, everyone can see my screen and it's visible. One of our topics obviously is automation, and what could be much more perfect when we talk about automation? We're just mentioning Power Automate. So, Power Automate, there are two areas of that. So you have Power Automate Cloud Flows, and you have Power Automate Desktop Flows. So I'm pretty sure with Power Automate Cloud Flows, you have come in touch, but I know a few people haven't come in touch with desktop flow. So what is desktop flow? So just think about that you have, let's say, a dynamics environment or a model-driven app, and you need to click all the time on some buttons, on some repetitive tasks. So you can automate them some cool ways of with Power Automate desktop flows. So it's, let's say, an interesting topic, but what's more interesting is what Microsoft just has announced a few days ago, which is, let's say, fantastic. So it's about Power Effects in desktop flows. So this is not a new feature. So let me just go in and go to the next slide. So first of all, what is Power Effects? So if you're just talking or just looking at Power Platform in several areas have different languages. So you do have in Canvas apps at Power Effects, which is a new language since 2021. You do have in model-driven apps, you nearly can't use Power Effects there, only for the ribbon buttons, but you mostly reuse, for automation, all that stuff, C# or JavaScript there. In Power Pages, you use, for some kind of dynamic pages liquid, right? So, and you use in Power Automate, usually in the cloud flows, expressions. So in Power Automate Cloud Flows, you don't find Power Effects, but now, since December, you just find it there. So what is there? So Power Effects is a very easy language, to use to automate things, and also, to bring in some kind of the low-code development into this. And I'm super happy that it's now there. It has been announced since December, but the March version of that was, announced in the for a few days ago on the Power Automate blog. It's really interesting. And these are the updates which are coming. So first of all, something which is maybe not that exciting, but syntax colorization. So that means if you're just writing a code, and if it's colored in a way, then it's much easier to read. So just assume that you have a very long statement you're just writing. Obviously, if you have colorization in that, it's easier just for you to see, what kind of effect this has. Things which are in when you're just working with Canvas apps, state of the art, nothing new, but they now step by step coming into Power Automate desktop flows as well as real-time suggestion and autocomplete functionality. So if you're just writing some kind of code in here, then you're just getting some suggestions now what you might be. Then you just click on the tab button, and obviously then it completes this without that you just have to write it fully. And what is also very, very, very helpful, I find that helpful every time when I'm using Canvas apps and Power Effects there, that you're getting now function signal helpers. So that means if you're just writing a code, that you're getting some kind of library there, and you can just scroll, by, in that case, with that concatenate function, in that case, and you can see how you can just use it. You don't need to go necessarily into some kind of library and just to look up. It's then more or less built in there, which is a huge time saver. They just have revamped the variable picker. So you see that in that picture here, obviously. So you just have bring in a really cool filtering mechanism here. In that case, if you just click on this and this will just come here, in that case, then you can just click in that funnel here. Then you can just sort all your variables here. You can select by filter here in a very cool and easy way. And I think that's also a really nice addition, that March edition. Last but not least, the function picker. So in that function picker, you can just click here on that Power Effects sign, and then you can see all the functions which are available, which you can just use. So you can either use them in the search, so boom, or you can just use the enhance that, and then you can just see every of that functions which are available. So sometimes if it doesn't come to mind, you just go by topic like information or date and time, and then obviously just comes in out of the box. And that's my update for today, and I think that's a really cool feature. So you should definitely use Power Effects in Power Automate desktop flows.
Thank you so much, Buelent, for just a quick, concise information regarding the Power Automate and the desktop, especially the desktop thing. So, the most of the users into the Power Platform area, they are not very deep working, or they're not getting a lot of requirements around the desktop flow. So it's really, really important to at least get an eyes on that one. And now I would like to call Marius. Let's see, Marius, what you have in your bucket.
Yeah, I have brought to you something from the Power Platform Admin Center. So I've selected my environment, settings, features, and there are a lot of feature switches. And the one I'm looking for today is disable empty address record creation. And forever, when you create a new account, let's try that, and I won't even enter an address. So I've just giving it a name and saving. And sadly, so there are customer addresses created. Sadly, they are not listed in my environment here. I couldn't get it to work, but what we can do with the advanced find, we can refresh this, and right here you see 2 new records are being created, and they are totally empty because I never entered an address, yet still the system creates those 2 records for the address 1 of the account and the address 2 of the account. So they would be linked to the address you enter in the form here. And by the way, you can see in this sample, I can only enter 1 address in the form, not 2, but the system will create 2 addresses. And with my browser plugin here, it's called Prettify My Web API for Microsoft Dataverse. We can also see that, I will zoom a little bit, so we can see better that address 1, that it got an ID for the synchronization of the address, and address 2 also got an ID. So if I start entering, it would update those existing addresses, but right now they are just empty and useless, and yeah, not the greatest thing. So I have a second environment where I've already enabled this switch because it takes a minute to save really. So let's create an account here. And actually, I will give this one an address. Street 1 in city 1. So, and let's save this one. And now we will see something different in the advanced find. There is a duplicate, of course. So if we refresh the advanced find here, we only see in the newly created records 1. And it would have even been 0 if I haven't entered anything. So only the address that had data in it was created. And that's really nice. So we can also see that again if we open it in the web API. So address 1 got an ID because it has data, and address 2 starts somewhere around here. Everything is null, and also the ID is null. So I think Microsoft does not auto-enable this for the environments because of, okay, you have existing implementations. Some code might rely on there being always 2 addresses as it can be updated. So yeah, I don't think they will ever auto-enable this, but for most implementations I have seen, I think this is really beneficial, and I was totally unaware of this switch until a few weeks ago. So a great thing. Look for disable empty address record creation. And that's it from me. I think Thomas is the next, right?
So let's see what Thomas is going to share us today.
Yeah, great. So now it's my turn. Hey, there is something still popping up from your side. Let me move yourself a little bit here. So got the new Teams client today. Yes. Before we go into the complete Power App part, I just wanted to show you a couple of things. Not everyone has the license actually to create the Dataverse. Therefore, sometimes you still need to, as me and our club tenant, for example, need to create lists. A couple of things I want to show you today. First is how to create the list. It's, I mean, pretty easy. Click new, and then you can actually start from a blank list, and you call it whatever. Say it this way, data, which means like what we want to say on. So, and then you will see a couple of super annoying things. Every list starts with the field title. So it even don't ask you. You can add all other titles and all other text comments and whatever else. Let me do it like this. Say boat name, something like that. So it's actually all fine. That works, but this still sticks. And there is no proper ability actually to really do it. There you find a rename button that you can actually also do, and then you can use it, say like skipper. So that's an important part. If that does not work with this field, actually you can go to that chain wheel, go to the list settings, and then most likely you see also here that we have boat name, but this thing is only title. It is not the skipper as I have renamed. If you want to rename it, you have to rename it here. So, and then you can actually press OK and everything done. And this super annoying field, it's actually done. Let me go back so that we can actually see the list. Here it is. It's now skipper, it's boat name, and that actually helped most likely a lot. Then another part, if you want to create a lookup field, say you want to have a new list, then you actually create the next list. So now we say we want to talk about something like the boat itself. We create it. Most likely we have the same issue, but I want to create a lookup field. So that means like I want to know which boat maybe will participate in this regatta. Since I have named the names or maybe the fields a little bit weird for this, like skipper and boat name, but say or assume at the moment that would be, for example, a date, or it would be, yeah, we could change it later. It could be, for example, the regatta name, but I want to refer it now in the lookup field. Then we click lookup. It's also pretty easy. Then we choose the list which we have created before. So it's regatta. And then we can most likely find the field boat name, and that is done. There's just one important part, just to be aware about this: delete from source. So that means per default, source item cannot be deleted. That means nothing will actually work if not the source will be removed, but deleting source item deletes the value in the list. So if I delete the regatta, for example, then it would be super helpful here also to create all the registered boats. And this I would say look up regatta, and I could save it. And soon you will actually see the following. Let me just make a new entry. So say John, and say now we assume that boat name would be regatta. Say whatever around the lake. Pretty simple. Now if I go to the boat part and create also a new one, I can choose around the lake or others. Then I could theoretically save it, and that works. So that was on my side, hopefully a very quick and simple introduction into how those lists will work, and where you can fake or maybe simulate a rational database as well with. Don't overdrive it with 100 millions of entries or even not 100,000s, but for certain smaller parts, it will work. The next time I show you how to create, I can do this here. Very interesting links, which is a bit weird, like you can make a lookup and show a calculated field as well. That makes it a little bit more easier, like if you want to create combined and more readable lists. On the other hand, and that could be the last part, oh no, we show that one for the next time, because in a rational database, you most likely have an automatic incremented ID field, and that could be a topic for next time. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Really interesting, and then without killing the time further, because we need to be a quite hurry today. I would like to show something around the Power Pages Admin Center. So let me just quickly share my screen, and I would try to summarize it. So I just created a kind of the visualization. So I have a Power Pages Admin Center, and it distributed in the 6 main parts. So we have a site health, we have a site details, we have something called the site actions there. We have a security, performance, and production, and the service there. So let's quickly talk about one by one. In the site action, basically, like we have enable diagnosis logging, shut down the site, disable custom errors, delete the site, restart the site, and enable maintenance mode. So these key options available. When we talk about the services, so we can even enable the Power BI embedded services. We can enable or integrate the Power BI visualization, as well as we can also enable the SharePoint integration. Next thing is regarding the performance and protection. So we have a website or the web application firewalls, WAF setup, as well as the CDN, the content delivery network setup. And please remember, these 2 options are only available for the production site, not for the trial, not for the sandbox or any other kind of the websites. Regarding the site tool, which is provided by the Power Pages development team or the product team, and they provide a short kind of the glance that we can have a look of the security related issue, portal startup issue, performance, provisioning issue, or the configuration issue within our pages. And there are around set of the 19 checklist which we have to run, and they provide the information around that. Microsoft is keep updating this checklist there. We will have a look for that quickly. Then we have in the site details, we have a lot of details, but we can update the connected custom domain, website record, edit. We can edit the site URL or the base URL for the site. We can also enable or disable the early upgrade, as well as we can update the site name. The last and the not least is the security, where we can go for the website authentication keys. We can whitelist the IP restrictions or the blacklist and manage SSL certificates. We can also manage the permission for the site visibility, as well as we can upload the custom certificates there. How we can do this? Let's have a quick glance there. So let me just quickly remove this and go to the admin center there. So how you can reach to the admin center? So the things are pretty simple. If you are on your site, simply you have to click on the 3 dots and just click on the admin center, and it will redirect to the Power Platform admin center in regards or in context of the particular website which we have from where we have triggered. So now I'm on the admin center here, and let me just quickly go. So because there could be another way also to go there. So you can click on the websites, and from the website, you have all of this websites available there. So you can just simply go, and then you can manage, and you can start editing and so many other things there. So that is probably the one of the flavor how you can reach it there. The things which I was talking about, let's quickly start with the site action. So on the top left corner, you have a site action. You can restart the site. You can shut down the site. Why you need to restart the site? This is a best practice. Is if you make some kind of the configuration which is going to impact the whole site, it's good to restart the site once. Or if the site is behaving really weird, there is a kind of a recommendation, just restart the site once. Please remember, the moment you restart the site, your site will be down for a couple of seconds to the minute. So always consider this issues as well, or this fallback. Shut down the site if you don't need your site to be accessed by anyone. It could be the test site or could be the production site, but because of some issues, you really want to shut down that one. That could be one of the things. You want to delete the site if you don't probably not going to longer use that one. So deletion of the site is one of the options. You can delete it completely. You can disable the custom errors from the site. So the moment you click it there, you can disable, like enable or disable. So you can disable, or if you'd already disabled, then you have an enable option there. So you can toggle, as well as you can also enable the diagnosis log. So here you need to provide, the Azure storage. You want to store the logs for the 1 days till always. So this is, you need to take care about from the costing perspective, because all the logs will then redirect to your Azure blobs. You have to provide the connection string there. So yeah, but then you have to pay the cost for that one for the storage. The another option is here is you can enable the maintenance mode. This is really important if you want to go and deploy your site, or the deployment is going on. You don't want that there would be kind of any kind of the performance impact or visualization impact to your end users. So it's always recommended you can create a page, and after creating the page, you can just mention that on the page that okay, your site is going in the maintenance, probably from this duration to that duration, and you don't want to basically you don't want that your users can access this, and but at the same time they know what is going on to the site, so they know the information which is being provided by the organizations there in that context. So this is the whole related with the site action. And then the second option here is or the second prospect here is you can also make some changes into the site details. So you can update the site name here, as well as you can update the website record. Like you can have a multiple website record if you want to update it. You can enable or disable the early upgrade. An early upgrade, if something has been pushed by the Microsoft, then if you enable it, it will directly push it. It won't ask for the pop-up or something, but it will push to your environment. You can also change the site URL. So always remember, whenever you want to change the site URL, you can only change the initial or the base URL, but powerappportals.com, the domain will always be associated with that one. If you want to change the domain, then in that particular case, you have to come up with a custom domain. And then you can integrate the custom domain with your sites. Then you can see what kind of the data model you have, organization URL, application ID. You can see it here, because the moment you spin up the site or the website by your administrators, there is an app registration happen on the on the portals, basically Azure portals, in the app registration section, and then you can get those overviews here. So this app ID or the client ID is the same what you can see. Wait a second, let me just pull it there. What you can see here, it is the same thing. So this goes registered there because you have a lot of other things associated with that one. So that's why this app will be registered there, and then you can utilize it for the further processes. Site health, as I mentioned, you can just run it. The moment you will run it, it keep running. After some time, it will give you the result set for that one, that what could be the result for that. If there is any warning, some errors, and as well as you will also get the recommendation how to fix those problems. So let it keep running. And then I will quickly go from the services perspective. So you can enable this Power BI visualization, embedded service, and the SharePoint integration directly from here. And once you enable it, yes, you have to provide some kind of, sometimes the client ID secrets and some authentication mode by which you are going to integrate with a particular SharePoint site. And here you see there are a lot of, a lot of information coming. I don't know why and which language it is coming, to be honest, because neither my data voice is in that particular, I think this looks something in Italian, or I don't understand, but maybe I think it should like to me Italian or Portuguese, but I don't know. Let it refresh the results. So maybe it's a temporary issue, and neither my site hosted in the particular region. So I'm pretty sure this is hosted on the US, one of the US region. So yeah, but let it see by the time it is loading, and now it loaded completely fine with the warnings and so on. So you can see the whole results there. You can refresh the results. So if you click on the see all, you will see something like this. And here you see something has been passed, or if you have a warning, then how to identify, like what is an issue and how to identify this problems. So you will get some sort of the recommendation there by which you can fix the problem. In the security section, you have an IP restriction, so you can blacklist and whitelist the IP. So if you put any IPs here, you can just go, and you have to go with the CIDR notations when you declare the IPs. there are two options. So you can go with the IPv version 4 or v6. So two available, possibilities here. And then you can whitelist. So if you want that your site need to be accessed by the particular IP set, then you can configure that. Custom certificates, you can upload the custom certificates here. And remember, these are not the SSL. And if you need to upload the custom certificates, you also need to make sure that whenever you just upload, you have the Azure storage available. And probably it's always good if you have an CDN available for that one. Then manage SSL certificates. If you go it here, always remember that it is only possible if you are going to convert into the production. Then improve performance when you use the CDN, so you can enable the CDN, and then this certificate will be uploaded there. Website authentication key. So this is a key which expire in a particular time frame. So the expiration right now is 2025. So technically around 1 year after you extended your or regenerated your authentication key. How to get this authentication key? Like you can see the same thumbprint here. So if you go certificate and the secrets of your PlayStation against the portal, you will see the thumbprint here, and then you also see the expiration date. So you can regenerate it from here as well, or the second option, you can regenerate it from here. So if you update the keys, the new key will take place, and then it also extended for the particular time frame. The last one is the manage site visibility permission. So here you can definitely enable the the set of the user set of the security groups who can manage the site visibility permission. Ideally, it is just only being possible for the admin privileges. So this is the whole thing which I would like to tell. Except one more thing, I think you can at any point of time you can manage the Dynamic 365 instance. So if you connected with the Dynamic 365 instance X and you would like to connect with the Y, you can do it there. You can update the Dynamic 365 URL. So if you update it there in the from the admin center, the Dynamic 365 base URL, you should come and refresh this again. So it will redirect to the right environment. Otherwise, your users will start getting issues. Metadata translation for the whole site, and then you can install the field service extension and the project service extension against your Power Pages or the site which is being up and running. So these all the options are available into this, and that is probably all from my end for today. And so any questions, anything around there, I would be happy to answer that one. Let's give some kind of the closure for that. So I really appreciate for the time today. I really appreciate for all of the speakers for today, starting from the tips and tricks around what you can do with the desktop flows, how you can go with the Power FX stuff within that, and then we have in tip and tricks around, especially even I was not aware about that there is some kind of the utility available in the, the Power Platform Admin Center where you can just go and decide how you need to deal with your addresses. And Thomas, as always, your tips and tricks are always new for us, especially from the background you are coming, like all of the communication things. It is really interesting from the people who are not deep into those areas. So always honored to listen you. And yeah, thank you so much. And if you have not subscribed the channel, please do so. Please write your comment in the video description or directly connect with us on the LinkedIn if you need any specific topics to be covered. Whatever your feedback is there, you can always give your feedbacks in the comment section. We always appreciate. Share this video with your friends and the colleagues, and hit the bell icon for the next update notification. So thank you so much, and thank you all to being here and spend your evening with us. Thank you.